Hello, this is Pharaoh Vincent with Nation 506, and I wanted to come to you with a bit of a controversial video. Uh, as you may have surmised from the title, I want to talk a little bit about farming and resources. This is a part of the game that I think, as in massive quotations, warrior city, a lot of people tend to neglect. Um, Understanding farming and how that works will also help you to build up your farms, but your main city should also be pulling in resources, right? Um, so let's talk about, really and truthfully, the three main ways you're going to gain resources. And then, of course, the fourth methodology, which really just uses the other three. And then you're able to take those resources onto your main city. So to begin with, I want to talk about passive production and how that works. So every city has internal buildings, and on your farms, you're looking to get, 8 food, 8 oil, 6 steel, and 6 minerals, right? In a warrior city, I like to do an even split of 4 and 4 on the food and oil. That way I can have maximum training grounds and maximum medic stations. Because that wounded ratio is huge for voids, not ratio, but that wounded capacity is huge for voids, and the additional training grounds, they all give increased recruitment speed, and that adds up. Again, the more troops you can recruit, the faster you can remax. So with this in mind, you do have a general output for each individual building. That output does have a maximum capacity. That capacity is generally about 10 hours worth of resource farming. So every 10 hours you need to log on and shake your phone. That's really what it boils down to. But there's a couple of things that you want to focus on to get this up. So first and foremost, you have your passive economy. You can see mine up at the top, where I'm getting 120,000, actually almost 130,000 food per hour, right? That's a lot. Over the course of a 24-hour day, it's 2.4 million, right? Like, that's a whole level 4 elite food mine. That's an entire mine all to myself. No one else gets that over the course of an entire day. The best way to get your production up is with a specific piece of equipment. It is the armor. So this one has, at the bottom, you'll see resource output. All of your farms should have this at purple, and at the highest level they possibly can get. Every single one of your farms should have this, and your main city really should have this when you have already finished off all of your attack equipment. I would highly recommend you get the armor, because again, this is passive. This is just always happening, regardless if you're able to log on. Doesn't matter how much you're able to play. The other part to that is officer skills. Again, you have these processing. It says resource output. Anything with that word output in it will increase that. I have the mineral output specifically. So I have all resources with processing. I have some resources with minerals. And on my farms, I've leveled these up, right? I do focus on the production side of things because, again, it's always there. It is ubiquitous. It doesn't stop. Just because your city gets hit, you may, temporarily lose out on some of it, but it comes back. It's constant. The final way is through research, specifically under resources. You have all of the various production skills. These are very good to get. Again, I like it above and beyond gathering. Even though you'll get more resources from gathering, I find that your resource output is really a nice way to supplement your gathering and really helps you to balloon your resources quickly. So that gets to the second point, which is resource gathering, right? And you can see here, I mean, of course, I have my zombie kill going with my auto kill. I always spend my fuel. We will talk about zombie resources here in a second. But gathering is kind of the easiest way. I want to talk briefly about, what you gather is up to you. It really doesn't matter what you're picking up. The big things that help you with gathering is going to be your gather efficiency. This comes from your garage, right? Right here you have the gather equipment. So that efficiency comes from there. You also have more efficiency that can be gained through your academy, and that's all of these gather speed increases. Efficiency and speed are the exact same thing. And last but certainly not least, of course, Imadise's main skill increases gather speed. And if you so chose, you could, put in a gathering skill. As you can see, I don't have any because I just don't really like them so much. They're not the greatest thing in the world. I'm not saying don't do it on your farms. Again, you can get more resources from gathering. I just am a little lazy and I don't like to log on to my farms all the time. I want to spend as little time on them as possible so I don't burn out on the game. That's me. So I hope that helps, everyone to understand those two main methods. And that's what probably a lot of people were thinking about in terms of this, right? To talk a little bit about gathering tiles. Elite mines have a base number here for gather speed, right? So right there next to the green, you can see this base number. That base number adds into this bonus number down here at the bottom. And what you're going to see with that is, a certain amount of resources gained per hour. And the more you gain, the better. So currently I am gathering food because there's a potential that tomorrow is a gathering day for the strongest commander. We're going to find out what phase 1 is. So that's why I'm in food mines right now. I don't normally gather a ton of food because, as you can see, I have plenty. But, it is the most efficient thing for me to gather for an event coming up. Tiles, and we're going to look at just a food tile in general. Any tiles are these farmsteads, right? They naturally gain less than your elite mines will. And I'm going to send out to this tile here real quick just so I can show you as I'm talking briefly about this. There's two different kinds of things to know with tiles, right? So first off, you have just the one sitting out there. You could have one sitting, inside of your alliance territory that's inside of any of these flagged territories. See if I can find one real fast. One like that. And then you have one that would be just like this, but with an enemy territory where you can be taxed. Or not even enemy, it could be an ally that you're not in a union with. I bring up these specifically because as far as the hierarchy of your gathering should be, Elite Mine is always number one because Elite Mine always has the highest base statistical gather speed just from being in the node, regardless of what your statistics are. Then, when it comes to tiles, you can see here, so again, it's 25,000 out of the Elite Mine. This is 20,000. I've lost 5,000 minerals per hour. You can gain some of that back, though, when you gather on top of Alliance territory like this. Because when you have... Oh, and I seem to have lost that food mine, but it's okay. When you gather on top of your Alliance territory, you gain about a 10% gather speed increase. This is really good if you're going to gather gold for an event. I always like to try to gather gold on top of... because gold only comes from tiles. I always like to gather gold from my Alliance territory. So instead of just clicking on, your auto find here with the compass, I'll sometimes just literally scroll through and look for gold mines whenever I have an event that I need to gather for. I will literally just kind of scroll through like this, looking for gold mines if that's what I've decided to gather. Again, just trying to stay on top of the territory. If you have to farm from a tile, try to keep it there so you can get half that efficiency back that you're losing for being in a tile. That gets me to my last gathering tip for you. And this one is controversial on farms because it's up to you whether or not you decide it's worth it. And that right there is going to be zombies. So I want to point out, this right here is 33,000 food crates. That's 90,000 oil or food that you can get. There are 300,000 food or oil inside of a tile. So why is all that a point? Every 3 level 30 zombies you kill will give you just a little bit less resources than a level 5 tile, but you can do it in about 10 minutes at most. Kill like 10 or 12 of them. I mean, each zombie kill is only going to take you 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes, right? So when you factor that in over the course of a day, if you're killing a lot of zombies for my previous video where I'm talking about power progression every day, you're naturally gaining some of these resources on your main city. And so I just want to take a second to explain and show how much that is. I have 105,000 of these 3,000 food crates. I have, literally enough to where you can't use more than 10,000 at a time, right? I have 300 million food that I've gained over the course of 2 months. Maybe about 3. But still, like in the last 3 months or so, I've gained all of these resources that you're seeing here, right? And these packs add up. They add up fast, right? If you're looking at 6 million steel, and I have 6 of those, I have 36 million steel just chilling in my bags. No one can take that from me. No one can loot that from me. These add up so very much that if you need resources on a pinch, or if you're looking to grow your city quickly and for free, the best thing to do is kill zombies, because you're going to get so many more resources by making sure that you get that zombie kill up. So just again, my pro tip to everyone there is the zombies, if you're looking to grow, you will grow quicker if you're killing. So all of that gets into the final thing. Again, last part I wanted to talk about, which is farms. What should you do on farms? I tend to do a method between production and gathering. I don't usually kill a lot of zombies. If I have a lot of extra time that day, or if I'm off work, on vacation, just feel like sitting down and killing zombies occasionally, it is very good to do on your farms if you can. But, make sure that you're not spending a ton of time on them. Because really and truthfully, you're going to get a lot of resources just gathering and just producing. And then, of course, you'll use your main city, you'll attack the farm, you will get those resources in, and you'll be able to use them from there. So that's going to help you grow your city, it's going to help you grow your resources, and that's really the best tips, tricks, and information I can give you on farming in AOZ. I appreciate all of the time you've given me today. I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your day. And thank you so much. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I would appreciate it. Bye.